An elderly black couple in Ontario is requesting a review of an independent police report, which cleared two officers in a confrontation that took place in 2018. They say they were assaulted by police and hospital staff after leaving an emergency room in Ajax, Ontario. Yesterday, their lawyers released two videos of the altercation. Let's take a look at one of them together now. This is surveillance video showing Livingston Jeffers and his wife leaving the hospital. A nurse follows them outside. She's joined by a security guard, a doctor, and then two officers who were already nearby. A confrontation breaks out. The video too far away to tell exactly how that happened. But police and Jeffers have much different versions about what happened and why. And let's bring in CBC investigative journalist Jonathan Gatehouse, who's been looking into this and has more on the allegations about what exactly did transpire. Jonathan.
Good morning, Heather. So this is a very different situation according to who you are listening to here. The Jeffers family say that this confrontation came out of nowhere. They had been given permission to leave the hospital with the idea that they would return tomorrow. The staff tried to stop them. They wanted to admit Mrs. Jeffers. And then when the police got involved, things got physical, they say. And this resulted in them being assaulted. And I believe that we have some eyewitness video that one of a bystander shot here that shows part of the confrontation, the beginning of it. And what you can see here is police applying a certain amount of force, punching Mr. Livingston in the head, or Livingston Jeffers, excuse me, in the head. Now, from the police's side, their allegation is that it was Mr. Jeffers who attacked them, and that's how it started. And not only did he resist arrest, but they say at a certain point in the struggle, he tried to disarm one of the officers and take his handgun. But really, what we have here is also a tale of three videos. As you mentioned, there has been an independent review. That review was largely based on a body cam video that from one of the Durham Regional Police officers. It was taken in 2018 during a pilot project that shows this confrontation. But we haven't seen it yet. The police won't make it available, and the lawyers for the Jeffers say that they don't have it either.
Certainly the family, the Jeffers family, calling for accountability, talking about legal action as well, indeed taking legal action. Jonathan, tell us more about what they're doing now.
Well, they filed a civil suit last fall seeking $1.6 million in damages from the police and the hospital in Ajax, Pickering. They've also, this week, they are calling for a review of the independent review. They say that there have been some serious shortfalls in that review, primarily that the people that took this witness video that we've shown you weren't interviewed directly. It relied upon testimony that they had given in the past. There's also an element here at play where the Jeffers family says that the witnesses who did shoot this video were intimidated by police and forced to delete the video from their phones. The reason that we do have the video is because they had already shared it with the family of Livingston Jeffers, specifically his grandson, Traquan Jeffers. And here's what Traquan had to say yesterday at the press conference about how this has affected his grandparents.
Imagine you taking your elderly grandparents to a hospital because your grandmother wasn't feeling well, and then you come back and you see your grandfather arrested in handcuffs with trauma to the head, bruises, bleeding, unconscious with his head back on a chair. My grandparents need justice. We need justice.
So looking at that, and as you mentioned, Jonathan, you mentioned a review of the independent review, and that was the review that cleared police of wrongdoing. Now, in the face of this renewed action, what are the police saying? What is the hospital saying?
Well, the short answer, Heather, is not much. The police say that because of the civil litigation and the request for a review of the independent investigation, that they can't comment on this case. As I mentioned, CBC News approached them and asked for a copy of this body cam video that has been used to exonerate the officers of any allegations of wrongdoing, and they won't share it with us. And for the hospital's point of view, they also say that this is a matter of patient confidentiality. after the incident, both the Jeffers ended up being treated there, and they say that they can't talk about it either.
Jonathan, thank you very much. Jonathan Gatehouse has been investigating this live with us this morning.